Uh-oh! That is a flag on the play. What's the ruling? Sounds like somebody forgot about Saturday Night Schlockfest. That's right, it's me, Jeff the Ref Moran, coming to you live this beautiful Saturday night right here in a beautiful winter wonderland in beautiful Bluff City, home to the Bluff City Boilers. Shout out to the Boilers. This year is your year, Boilers. Woo! Anyway, right, movies. The 86, in case you missed the first half of the movie, which aired last week separately, I guess, because of some sort of weird licensing or FCC thing, I suppose. They don't really let me in on that. Anyway, the movie, what did we learn? Well, the ref was watching the plays, and what I saw was definitely worth the red card. It looked like Clarence B. Grimes and his crony coppers were up to no good. Something about a real estate agency and, the mafia? It seemed bad. I'll be honest, the movie never really explains what their plot is. I think it had something to do with framing people with ivory and maybe seizing their homes to build more casinos or something. I don't know. What I do know is that Bluff City has 3 heroes, and they're on the case. Sergeant Janice Stone, kickboxer and butt kicker, whose good friend Jamie and Rain had gone missing, along with the elephant. Joining her are rookie Sebastian Young. I wonder if they call him that because he's such a thriller, such a pretty young thing. Shout outs to Quincy Da Vinci Jones. And of course, Detective Max Lamb, the free runner, the short gunner, and the stone cold Wait a second, that's a different promotion, y'all. I can't use that one. They got lawyers. Which reminds me, come out to Bluff City Convention Center next weekend for some of the best wrestling you've ever seen. Welcome to Friends of the Table, an actual play podcast focused on critical world building, smart characterization, and fun interaction between good friends. I am your host, Austin Walker, and today we are continuing to play Action Movie World by Ian Williams. Joining me today for this game of Bluff City, Janine Hawkins.
Hey, you can find me at Bleating Heart on Twitter.
Andrew Lee Swan.
Hey, you can find me on Twitter at Swandre3000.
And Andy Clare.
And you can find me on Twitter at Captain Trash.
As last time, our agenda today, or my agenda as GM, is subgenre first, but they're all action movies, and to play to find out what happens, but make it seem like it was a scripted movie afterward. Afterworld is not what I meant to say at all. So where were we? It's been, for listeners, it has not been very long at all, but for us, it has been like a month. So would love to talk about where we are on this and characters and every other thing. Does anyone want to do kind of a broad recap?
Okay. I think I remember more like where we ended than how it started.
Yes. Well, let's go over characters really quick.
Okay.
Let's go over let's start with who are you all, and then from there we'll build out what happened. So, Dre, let's start with you because you are technically the lead, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I am Dionne Gabreau. She is the lead of this movie and the playbook she is based out of, which is the Musclehead. So she is kind of she's a cop in Bluff City, and she's definitely like a no nonsense, like just a very huge, intimidating presence. And I believe her now signature terrible line is, the chief can't arrest us if we don't arrest him first. Wasn't that like the really terrible one-liner you made me lie on?
Something like that, yeah. Did you say your character name or just your actress name?
Oh, right. So the actress name is Dionne Gabreau, but she is playing Sergeant Janice Stone.
Great, good. And you have a relationship with Max, who is played by Andy. That is your special relationship, precinct buds with Max. Let's talk about Max.
So I am playing, my character name is Max Lamb. The actor playing him is Eddie Chancool, which I think I forgot to write down on.
No, you got it. It's over here. It's like in a weird place on the sheet. Yeah.
Who is the sort of like, he's the gunslinger or gunfighter class is what I'm playing as, and I think I described him as sort of like a Southeast Asian action star who's kind of breaking into the American scene. And I am the begrudging mentor to Janine's character as a punishment for something that I don't think we ever defined.
No, just being... I mean, we've seen you now do an action thing, and it's a big deal. Like, you go wild because you're the gunslinger, or you're the gunfighter. So you can imagine that being like one of those things where someone higher up says, like, you went too wild, you know, you're a loose cannon, etc. And as a note, you also have the move Buddy Movie, which basically sets you up as a second lead when it comes to kind of like plot armor and invulnerability. So that is an important thing to note as we go into the second or the final half of this game. And Janine, tell us about Sebastian Young, and your character and your actress or actor.
So my actor is Mason Lowry.
Right.
Who is a young, attractive, very popular with like the Williamsburg crowd, probably like a very a Matthew Gray Gubler-esque figure, a Gubler-esque, if you will. And he's playing Detective Sebastian Young, who is a sort of not quite fresh out of the academy because he's a detective, but like very idealistic, by the books. He's sort of a golden boy-esque figure, but also completely naive and in over his head for the real world. Like, he's not prepared for what things for the way things actually are. The script move that he has is corrupt is as corrupt does, which gives me corruption points to aid in the fighting or because I'm fighting the doing of corruption. Sure, that's a way to put it.
But for you so far, it's been about fighting corruption, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's think about how this all played out. We opened in the zoo. We opened going to a zoo to investigate a missing person. Was Jamie the one who went missing? Yes. Jamie and Rain goes missing. You meet up with Van McLaren, who was a character we'd seen in a past episode of Bluff City, now seeing represented fictionally in this movie. He kind of gestures towards some notion of elephants and conspiracy theories. Jamie has like a whole thing in his apartment, his kind of basement apartment. You find like a zip disk that has just a huge single text file, a doc, like an old word pad file.
Disc, actually.
Sorry, it was a jazz
this is
disc.
important.
Sorry, you're right.
About the
You're
jazz
right.
disc.
You were being hounded by a trio of cops: Oscar Season, Elliot Jakowski, and Marty McKean, who also wound up bumping into you at a club later, where they tried to try some shit with you. What else? Sebastian, you ended up meeting a lady named Evelyn Christo, who was part of a construction firm, or like a real estate firm, basically, and kind of let on that part of the city was basically being bought out for a new construction project. I don't remember, was it a new casino specifically?
Weren't they gonna like turn the whole town into casinos or something?
Like, they were basically turning
Like
a residential area into
yeah.
casinos. Yeah.
There was like a special name for the place that they wanted to.
There was, and I'm looking at my notes now, and I'm
it,
not seeing it written down anywhere. So
No, me neither.
which
Got
is
this
a
picture of Matthew
prob.
Gray Gubler, which isn't super helpful, but
It's not. It's
No.
not. In any case, Evelyn ends up you and Evelyn end up flirting and wind up out on the boardwalk, looking out in the ocean under the moon, and a bunch of boardwalk cops roll up on you, who are not the same cops as the ones who were at the time picking a bit of a fight with Max and Janice inside the club. You end up like taking some of Janice's advice and trying to fight back, and then in the process get kind of beat up. You're the only one who has any wounds right now. You have 2 harm, and then Janice and Max roll in to help you, and some things explode. Max maybe killed some people.
Yeah, I went a little bit hard there.
You went a little bit
It was
hard.
a golf cart that exploded, I think, right?
Yeah, they were like boardwalk,
Oh, yeah.
like golf carts. Yeah, exactly. And one of them left with Evelyn. One of them, previous to the fight, like really blowing up, kind of took Evelyn away. Y'all ended up like tending to your wounds and going to meet up with at the boardwalk. Not the boardwalk, the gym that Janice trains at fictionally, and also that Dion trains at for real, which is the Phoenix Gym, where Tawny Buck, is that the character's name? Is like the head instructor. It's like a kickboxing gym, basically, right? And while there, you get a call from Evelyn, who is like, "Hey, you're gonna be okay." Like, you all before that call actually decide to go after the head of the corruption here, which is the police chief. Excuse me, who has set up shop inside of the menagerie, inside of the I think we decided not to call it the menagerie because it's like in the fictional version of this story, this is like all based on a true story. And so really it's the verandas and the menagerie, but here it has to be like the zoo or something, and a fake name, not the verandas.
The porches.
But in any case, right,
porches.
exactly. I went with something like the Porcellis. You know, you put porch in there, but you still.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure it's Porcelli's. And so your plan was like to go find him in the casino, but that seemed really dangerous because like it's the casino where all of his super corrupt cops are. He moved like his personal headquarters into a mob casino instead of the actual police station. And then I think Evelyn called and gave you a clue. Mm-hmm. Do people remember what that clue was?
Look for the tusks, I think.
Look for the tusks. I think on the
Africa wing.
The Africa wing. As a reminder, the menagerie is this like zoo themed kind of
the exhibition.
Safari themed.
Or the collection. The safari's good, but that's
the safari. I think it leans that way. Like it is as colonialist as possible in that way, where it is like the safari, like it fits perfectly. I think it's like the Africa wing, the East Asian wing, it's like, but not even the East Asian wing. There's probably a name that I don't want to say for East Asia. It's bad. It's just a bad fucking casino. That's like how it is. And so yeah, the Africa wing is where she told you to look for the tusks, and I think that's probably where we come in. Everyone was like all geared up and ready to go, right? Any other questions before we start proper?
I don't think so.
I can't think of anything.
I'm ready
all
to do
right.
some weird shit in this casino.
Yeah, so I think we should just pick up with the three of you coming down the escalator into the Africa wing of the safari, it's what time of year is it? Did we decide? I don't just. It's still school year. I think it was cold, so it's still winter. I think January, February probably is kind of what we were going for. So it's probably not packed. It's not like summer packed. But like there are people playing the slots and playing cards and stuff. And the Africa wing is just like a bunch of fake plants and like cheap fake masks on the walls, and it's a bunch of like wall murals that are not to scale in any way, and often don't even have the right types of animals on the right floors or the right wings. Do you know what I mean? So like it's a lot of like tigers that don't exist in Africa on the walls here, and like standing right next to lions. I was like, yeah, that's what it is, right? It's all the same. There are definitely like Indian elephants on this floor that shouldn't be here. Yes, Andy says in the chat, there's just a koala around.
Yeah,
you have like a real one.
out.
There's like a koala handler who walks around and lets people pet the koala, which is actually
God.
nice, honestly.
Yeah, that does sound nice.
Mm-hmm. And it's a big like casino floor. And I think my suspicion is that there's just like the notion of like, oh, look for the tusks ends up being kind of not a lot of help, because I bet you there's a lot of tusks everywhere, right? Like there's lots of like ivory or fake ivory everywhere, because that's how cheesy and bad these people are. So I think that's kind of, we get the shot of you all coming down the elevator, and then a reverse shot of the floor, and you can just see that there's like fake tusks everywhere. What do you all do as you pass by the koala handler?
Okay, Max, I need you to break this down for me. Do rhino horns count as tusk?
Okay, so, Janice, I need you to break something down for me.
Okay.
Why do you think I know that?
All right, Sebastian.
A tusk is usually classified as a sort of tooth. It's usually attached to the mouth, whereas a horn would be attached to the center or of the head or the top of it. You would normally see them near ears or noses, but they are not associated with the mouth. That's my understanding, anyways. That's I didn't train as a biologist or anything, but
damn, they've updated the academy curriculum. I guess it's time to get intimate with some elephants.
What?
We're gonna get up in their mouths. You said it's in their mouth, so like that's pretty intimate. Putting your hand up in their mouth parts.
Okay. I was gonna ask how you were gonna check when you describe it like that, but
I hadn't been thinking of looking at the living elephant's tusks. I thought...
Also, yeah, there's definitely one living elephant here, for sure. In the middle, like, on a platform. It is bad. It sucks. Like, they shouldn't do this. I mean, it's probably well fed. There are regulations, but also the police chief is in there. They're in the police chief's pocket. It's hard to tell which way that pocket pudding goes, and so, the point is, it's maybe not as good as it should be.
I mean, we could wait to check that elephant last, but, I mean, we gotta be thorough.
I just feel
you
like
can
if it
handle
was that
one.
elephant, if it was that, she probably would have just told me to check the elephant if that was the case, right?
I just remembered the one of the things that we did not mention is that the audience saw that she was being like, if not held at gunpoint, at the very least intimidated by Clarence B. Grimes, the chief of police. So that's a thing to keep in mind.
And he was talking to, I think, someone else, and he was like, no, don't worry about him, but the other ones. Shakes fist. That kind of thing.
Yes, 100%. He was very clearly making a deal for your protection in exchange for the other two, Yeah. Or not the protection, but
I mean, is this just a montage of us, like...
Yeah, so I think what ends up happening is, like...
They probably don't just let people touch those. They're very expensive.
We got badges. It's fine.
Right, there aren't, like, security... So at first there aren't security guards, and usually going around and, like, looking for elephant tusks, and, like, they are everywhere. There are, like, 200 fake elephant tusks on this floor that are used on, like... as decorations on columns. There is a special like set of slot machines that instead of having slot machine handles, just have like miniature elephant tusks. It is a big ask to just find these. But then eventually, the one thing you note is you see coming down the elevator. The audience sees coming down the elevator. Oscar Season, Elliot Jakowski, and Marty McKean coming down the elevator. And so now I'm going to say this is like increasingly a charged situation because they are on the lookout for anything out of the ordinary. They're beginning to put the pressure on and looking for anybody who's going to come for their boss. How are you looking for this stuff? Who's taking the lead here? Because this is basically a Rita situation, but like I want to know who is the one most on the hunt. My gut is going to say Janice because Janice is the lead, and the camera should be on Janice here.
Well, I think there's also a certain yeah, fuck it, I'm going to go look at these elephant tusks, and who's going to stop me? Right.
Yeah, and so maybe we get images of Max and Sebastian being a little more like cautious about this because they don't want to get seen or whatever, and Janice is like read the situation is swagger, right? And so maybe there is a part of this that is like no one's going to stop me. I'm going to fucking go pull every slot handle. I'm going to go just literally touch all of the giant tusks on the walls, all of that stuff.
Yeah, and like some like poor like blackjack dealer walks up to her and she goes and like just like flashes her badge and like pushes them away. Okay.
So read a situation. The moves are in the thing. You just have to type it. We just have to type it here.
Is it just 1d6?
It's 2d6. It's 2d6 plus whatever your skill is, whatever your attribute is. It's like Dungeon World. It's like Apocalypse World. So 2d6 plus 1. Hey, that's a 12. Look at that. When you read a charged situation, roll plus swagger. If you succeed, ask the director questions. When you act on one of the director's answers, take +1 forward. On a 10 plus, you get to ask 3 of these. 1, so here, we'll just go through the list. What's my best escape route / way in / way past? Which enemy is most vulnerable to me? Which enemy is my biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What's my enemy's true position? Who's in control here?
Okay. Also, I have my swagger highlighted. I think that was like one of your like director things, but I forget what I get for that.
You add a star power tick.
Oh.
Because you got over 10, right?
I believe that's on one of the things that is marked as one of your highlighted stats, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, every 10 plus rolled on either of the character's highlighted stats gets a tick.
Cool. Okay, so I think my first question is going to be where's my best way in?
Do you want to do them one by one, or do you want them all at once?
I can do them all at once or one by one, whichever you think is easier.
Let's do them one at a time, so that if the information gives you some different direction, you can do that. So eventually you literally just find it's one of those sequences where you're like, I've pulled 200, or I've pulled 50 slot machine handles. I've taken down 20 different tusk vases on the walls, or braziers or whatever, like a bunch of different things. There's just like tusks holding stuff. I've checked all the toy elephants. There's like a person in an elephant costume whose tusks you've pulled on, and the three of you just are back together near the entrance of this floor, and you're like, God damn it! Like, I can't believe we can't find these tusks. And then like either you lean backwards or you kind of like pound the wall or something, and you realize there are these columns, entire column, like that's holding up the floor, that is shaped like a tusk, basically. I think it's like up against the wall, so it's not actually holding up the floor. Do you know whatever the ceiling or anything? But it's like columns that have been cut into the walls or put next to the wall for style. And when you hit it, you hear that it's hollow. And so that is your way in. There's a secret, and you're able to you quickly check. There are 3 of them there, and those 3 are hollow, or there's 6 of them there. There's 3 of them that are hollow. Because it's an action movie, and we get to be ridiculous.
Yeah. Let's see. What's my enemy's true position?
So you have the 3 cops who are now closing. We get 1, 2, 3 shots of them walking down the 3 different kind of aisleways filled with slot machines, and so we get I have to remember which one's which really quick. We get
Elliot is the hurt one, Morty is the strong one, and Oscar is the heavy one.
Marty is the buff one.
Marty,
yes.
sorry.
And Elliot's hurt, and it was also lanky and a lockpick, the one who could do lockpicking. As a reminder, very important. The other 2 haven't been hurt, and so I think we get Oscar and Marty each walking full force towards you at some distance, right? And they're kind of still looking for you. You can see them scanning the crowd, and then we get Elliot Jakowski trying to get through the aisleway, but there's too many people on the slots, and he keeps bumping into people, and there's someone there with a thing of drinks, and he bumps into them and drops a bottle, and it breaks, and he's like, goddamn, sorry, get out of my way, and then we come back to you. So that's one set, and the other thing is definitely the audience just gets, and maybe, I don't know, you have to tell me how you notice this, but the camera just pans through the wall where the elephant tusk columns are, and you can see that behind there is just a den of corrupt cops who are like, I think some of them are playing cards. We get some of them like putting together baggies of fake evidence. It is like the most bullshit, absurd, like, but also the heart of it is true, right? Which is like, oh, these are cops prepping to go fuck people over. There's like a map of the city here where you can see the district where they're adding in the new casinos and taking away the homes. And I think the specific fake evidence that you see is there is a long single tusk that is like currently being like cut up into little pieces by these people who either are cops or are working for the cops, and like prepped to look like they're like tourism goods, basically. So like carved into little idols or like little souvenirs, little tchotchkes, or like turned into like keepsakes, basically. And so that's what's happening on this long table. It's a lot like, you know, what you would imagine in like a John Woo movie when if like, you know, if Chow Yun-fat walked into a drug den, you know, like they all have like masks on their faces, like medical masks on their faces for breathing, as if they don't want to breathe in any of this. And so we get that. So how do you sense that? How does Janice, with all her swagger, sense that something that there's bad guys on the other side?
Like the thing that immediately comes to mind is she like puts her ear up to it and hears somebody. Yeah. I'm trying to think of something that's like even more like action movie bullshit than that, but I can't think of anything else.
So I think that that's fine, because I think what you hear is the voice of Grimes, of Chief Grimes, going, he says like, chop, chop, like literally, haha. And then like you hear him like walking up a stairwell, or the audience sees him walking up a stairway up to a higher level and like kind of leaving this workshop floor behind.
Okay. Andy, Janine, do you all have any thoughts on what this third question should be?
So far, again, you've picked which two?
What's my best way in? Mm-hmm. And what's my enemy's true position?
Okay.
Maybe
there's a couple that could work here.
Yeah.
I think maybe I don't know. My pitch for which enemy is most vulnerable to me is that we have this situation that we maybe can't properly act on, and the vulnerability thing might give us a way to act, like, because at this point it's like, okay, we're in a very crowded casino. Are we going to break the wall down? And then there's a bunch more cops than us.
Okay, wait, 1 second. You recognize that these tusks are fake and that there is a mechanism for opening them like a door.
Okay.
There is not, I mean, if you still want to just break through it, because that's what an action hero does, that's fine. But like, you can tell that they're like, they spin open. Do you know what I mean? That like, oh, there's a latch, there's a button you can hit that like opens them. In fact, maybe you hit it by mistake and it goes like, whoosh, and it opens up, and there's like a little, like you would step inside and then hit another button and it would closing you in, and then opening the other side. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I still think a question that gives us something that can be acted on.
Yeah, it gives us a more like direct target. I'm definitely into that one.
Cool. Then yeah, what enemy is most vulnerable to me?
I honestly think that like most of the people on the other side of this, I guess actually that's not true. I think so you go inside. If you go inside, you will see that the ones who are working on the elephant tusk, because they're like using their hands already, and because they are working on very like complex, labor or whatever, they don't have their guns on hand. So those are the ones who like don't pose any threat. And in my mind, it's kind of like, I'm just gonna quickly at the bottom of this page just draw a little quick and dirty map for y'all. My favorite thing to do is draw a big space like that, and then I think that you guys are like, that's not really right. 1 second. Like, let's just assume that the place on the left, the size here doesn't matter, because this is the casino, which is much bigger than this other little room, right? The little rectangle inside of the big rectangle I've drawn is where those ivory tusk columns are, right? And so the one on the right is kind of like the tusk den. There's this long workshop table here, which is where they are working on this elephant tusk. On the right table, tusk table. on it. There we go. There's a card table where there are like clearly some like heavies on the card table, kind of in the middle of the room. And then there's like packaging. There's like a bunch of like the other side here where the tusks aren't being worked on, but are being kind of assembled into baggies and like backpacks and stuff like that. So those two sets of tables are the ones where like those people aren't going to do you any harm. The ones at the card table are the ones who have like, there's a shotgun, like slung on someone's back. Then on the other end of the room is a staircase up to like the next floor. Or it's like a nice double staircase. Do you know what I mean? Whoop. It's like goes up on the kind of north side and then also up on the south side. And both of those are... That's a bad arrow. It's hard to draw with this mouse. Both of those go up. And on each of those, there is like a guy with a shotgun. I'm picturing them as like plainclothes cops, basically, with like... blue or red shirts tucked into pants with suspenders on, really walking the line between mafioso, but like have badges on, really walking the line between mafiosa and cop stereotypes, big mustaches all around.
Oh man.
So yeah, the ones at like the tusk tables and the bagging tables are the ones who are most vulnerable. Sorry that's not, there's just not much like...
No, for sure.
There's a lot of baddies in here.
It would be handy for us to probably get some evidence from that too.
Sure.
From the bagging table and stuff. So, like, if we want to try and lock down this room before heading on and trying to get,
I mean... Listen, Austin's given you 2 long-ass tables to do, like, sliding gun.
I absolutely did.
So,
I did my best. I'm out. We're really, truly out here.
Yeah, fucking, I think, like, Janice just turns to Max and goes, well. Looks like somebody didn't clean up after themselves. You ready to clear the dirty dishes?
What?
That's a one-liner. That's a one-liner. You have to roll a one-liner.
Good. Excellent. Perfect.
Do you remember how that works?
I know I roll plus swagger.
When you deliver an awesome one-liner or catchphrase, roll plus swagger on a 10 plus your line is hilarious, well-timed, etc. So go ahead and give me a roll.
Yeah, and it was obviously awesome and well-timed. So
well, we'll see. Well, no, it was a 4.
That's
it was a 4.
Yeah.
On a miss, the line falls flat. Take -1 forward as you're rattled by how lame your line was. The director may make a move against you. So what did you say again? Can you give me that exactly one more time? Please?
Looks like... Oh, shit. I know the final line was, let's clear the dirty dishes.
Like, looks like someone forgot to clean up after themselves. Let's clear the dirty dishes or something.
Because it's a big table, like a dinner table. Where people eat and or do crimes at.
Right, of course. So I think, so the move I'm going to make, so it falls flat, take that -1 forward.
Yeah,
which is just, it's bad news for you. What happens is, so we know that Jakowski is caught up in one of these slot aisles that I've just drawn on the map. But we get McKean, who is the buff one. Marty McKean just like walks down this big center aisle, and he is like bulging out of his like red silk shirt with his badge showing in his like, it's like in his shirt pocket. And he has like an open carry holster on, like he's just like ready to fucking go, and he sees the 3 of you, and he's like, I don't think he even says anything. He just like cracks his knuckles and like then cracks his back and like then his neck. He's like, he's big. He's the big one. And then we also see turning the corner at kind of the south end of the map here. We see Oscar Season, who is like a little bit heavier set, but is very clearly like the leader of the crew. And he's the one who says, "Well, what do we have here?" And then it's like, he clearly is waiting for Jakowski to come block off this third route, the north route. And Jakowski is not doing that because Jakowski is currently pouring an old lady a drink because she's like, now you better pour me a new drink and tip the waitress. And he is like, of course, ma'am, of course I'll tip the waitress. And so he is not interfering here, but these other two are now putting some pressure on you both. What do you all do?
I want to say
There's not a lot I can
something.
do here without making a scene.
Sure.
I think that's actually like a thing that I say in character to Janice, like just like
Okay.
lean over and be like, "There's not a lot I can do to these guys without making everyone pay attention to us."
Mm-hmm. What were you gonna say, Sebastian?
I wanted to do like a not mean, but like a counter one-liner.
Okay, what is it?
I want Sebastian to like kind of not sarcastically, but like slightly I don't know the word for what I want, but he's like a little frustrated that to even be in the situation. Like he's not frustrated at Janice, but he's frustrated at like the world, I guess.
Oh. Okay.
I wanted him to say like, well, I hope you brought your Brillo pad or some shit like that.
Oh my god.
Can I suggest that instead it's, I hope you brought your scrubbing bubbles?
Isn't that
gotta
for
get the
like
sponsors.
toilets?
Yes,
Not
but
dishes?
Exactly. These
All right,
fucking toilets.
We're kind of mixing our metaphors, but it's good.
Yes, direct to VHS. When making a killer one-liner move, you get to roll drama instead of swagger.
I do.
Give me that drama roll. 2d6 plus 2. That's an 8. Okay, on a 7 to 9, you can choose either take +1 forward to your next roll or +1 to camaraderie, but also pick one of the following. Someone is enraged and immediately attacks you, someone you care about is hurt, or the comment slows down an action scene and not in a good way.
I want to take your buddies are impressed, +1 to camaraderie.
Nice, good. Move that up to 2. I got it. And what's your bad one?
I don't remember how action scene slowdowns work.
This one, so it's up to me basically, right? But like think about it this way: you're action heroes. Momentum is good for you.
Yeah.
You don't want things to. You don't want to lose the upper hand in terms of having control of a sequence. Think about it in an action movie where like the good guys are like cowering behind something and running out of ammo versus when they're kicking down the door.
Okay, someone's enraged and immediately attacks me.
So I think we get the moment of we get McKean like starts to say like, or no, Oscar Season goes like, that doesn't even make any sense. We're talking about, and then suddenly McKean, the buff one, is like, are you calling me a toilet? And then just like rips off his shirt and just like spears you, just like charges at you and like is gonna just like push, like just completely hammer you through the wall. What do you do? Do you try to dodge out of the way? Do you just like, does this turn into a fight for you?
I want to try and like get low and then sweep his legs out from under him.
All right, so this
like
is
a revert. Like
he's
charging in a top heavy way. I want to charge in like a bottom heavy way and kind of like flip him. That'd be fun.
Andy in the chat says this is the second time someone in this casino has ripped off their clothes and done a wrestling move on our show.
We know what
Just
we're doing.
saying, there's a trend.
We know.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
wait until fucking next month. All right, violence is what this sounds like. Violence is exactly what it sounds like, trying to hurt or kill people. The stat you roll depends on how you're going about it. If it's up close with a melee weapon or fisticuffs, roll plus muscle. If it's from a distance with guns, bows, bazookas, grenades, or anything else, or anything of that ilk, roll agility.
It sounds
So
like
this is
muscle,
muscles,
then,
which sadly is a 0 for you. Right? I guess
Sadly.
it's still better than an agility.
Yes.
So
or swagger. Yeah.
yeah. That's a 9. On a 7 to 9, choose one. You inflict harm, but you take some too. You inflict harm, but are driven back. You inflict harm, but a friend is hurt badly in the fight.
I would like to inflict harm, but be driven back.
Okay. So you get like totally. I guess do you. So you're trying to like sweep his leg out from under him, right? as he charges you? Is that just kind of what you pitched me? All right, so you totally do that. You drop to a knee and like stick your leg out and not just trip him, but like do a cool sweep. And he starts to like stumble. He doesn't fall all the way over because that would have been a thing you could have chosen from the 10 plus. But you do like knock him back, and I think he probably falls, and you can see his head hit the ground, and that hurts him. So you do a damage from that for sure. But he kips up, and when he does that, like he like kind of. Do you know what a kip up is?
No.
I just realized lots of people who don't watch wrestling don't ever hear the phrase kip up. It's when
like
you
a
like
ska
pull your
thing.
Yeah, it's like a ska thing. Yeah, exactly. It's when you pull your knees back to your like chest and then do like a jump up from your back and land on your feet. And when he does that, he hits you with it and pushes you back through or into one of the tusks, and you're like stuck in there, inside of this big ivory column, basically.
Wait, what? How? I don't think I understand what these tusks are like.
They're like fake doors. They open and close. You know?
Oh, how?
They're like
you get stuck inside one.
Yeah, you're like locked in there. You're like inside of it. It's like you know what I mean? It's like one of these. 1 second.
I had been picturing them as like opening out into the casino, and not like. Are they like? So they're like little in between spaces.
Yeah, they have a little. They're like it's like a cabinet in there. It's like a closet space in there that you open the one side and you open the other side to go into the. Even if you just open the one side, you wouldn't see right into drug den. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like there's two doors basically, and so you get kicked into that one, and the door closes on you, and so now you're in there. Janice and Max, what do you do? At this point, you can see Oscar sees and is like, ah, shit, and like goes to reach for his gun, but then like slips lower and grabs a baton instead. And then we also still just get the shot of Jakowski, who's like finally done dealing with this waitress, and then like starts to move forward, the waitress and the lady who was playing slots, and starts to move forward, and then like runs right into the koala handler. And I was like, ah, jeez. And we cut back to you. So Max and Janice, what do you do?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what to do that doesn't involve shooting people, because admittedly that is kind of what my playbook is built around.
I mean, you did shoot a lot of people on the beach earlier, so that ship is kind of sailed.
There's not like, but those were like dudes trying to beat up our buddy.
Right, and also it was like an empty boardwalk in the middle of the night, whereas this is like, it's not packed, but there are innocent people around right now. Again, it is an action movie, which means we probably don't even worry about it. They'll be fine, probably, but...
Can I, like, try and get a chase scene going through this casino with them after me for some reason?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. How do you do that?
I'm trying to think of a way to, like, piss them off so they'd want to go after specifically me so Janice could help Sebastian out.
Yeah,
What if you just, like, stole that dude's gun?
What if I did just steal that dude's gun?
Yeah,
that's
totally.
A great question, Dre.
That's a good question.
What would that be?
That seems like a stunt to me.
Okay, so
right?
It's definitely an agility thing.
That,
it's definitely, because that's not like, it's not, I mean, I guess I could see it being violence if you were also trying to fuck him up, but like, it sounds like what you're trying to do.
Element.
Yeah, exactly. I would say stunts. When you perform a badass stunt, roll either agility or muscles, depending on the type of stunt. This is agility.
I got a 7.
You got a 7, which is what, 2d6 plus 2. Wow, that's a low roll. The stunt is successful. Take +1 forward. However, you've left yourself in a precarious position. Choose one below. You fall, you lose something, you leave something behind, you hurt yourself, or I make a move against you.
I'm down to get hurt. Why not?
Okay. So what's the... Let's see what happens. So you're taking the one from the big guy or from Oscar or from
Who
Marty?
was the guy who just reached for his baton? Because I feel like it would be the other
that was
guy.
Oscar. Oscar sees and reached for his baton.
I feel like it would make sense to take the gun from the other guy because that dude. Or I mean, I could go for that one and then he could clip me with it. Actually, with his baton.
His baton, yeah, totally. So I think that's what it is. Is like you get. In fact, I want it to be the thing of like, tell me if this works for you. You like walk up to him and he just like fucking slaps you with the baton and you just grin. And he's like, why are you grinning? And then you just like lift into frame his gun, like between two fingers and shake it in front of him.
Yeah, I'm very into that.
And then
I
just like
take off.
Yeah, do you like hop over him? Do you like Just turn and run? Like, what's the coolest way? Do you like wall hop around him?
Oh, so, you know what I think happens is which way is he blocking again?
He's the one who's blocking south.
Okay.
So there's like to the south there are card tables, and then the wall, and then just imagine that this pattern goes on for a long time to the west. You know, this is basically what we're like abstracted a little bit. You see like 4 tables here, but imagine there's like 12 tables. You know, it's like blackjack and poker.
I think what I do is
craps and poker on the south. That's what it is.
You said there was a waitress coming like on the north side, so I'm assuming there's like waiters and waitresses walking around all over the place, right?
Totally.
I want to grab like the like drink tray, and I want to just like toss it so all the drinks go in his face while I slip past him, and then just like slide over a card table.
Good. So I think I think he gets pulled out of this. I think he turns on a 9, or on a 7 rather. He's like, "Get back here with my gun," and it's like chasing after you, like full like arm motion. You know what I mean? Just like all the way animated. And you've totally dragged him out of this sequence, Janice. That leaves you face to face though, still with Marty, the buff one.
Okay, so we're still like out here in like the casino area, right?
You are right here. I've made an X on the map, and that is where you are.
Yeah. All right. Is that dude facing me, or is he facing?
Totally.
Okay.
He's like eye locked with you, and he says like, "Phoenix Jim, huh?"
I'm just gonna suplex this dude through a poker table.
Okay, you know that kind of respond. All right, good. Give me a.
I mean, that
violence.
is a response, really.
Yeah, it is. It is. That sounds like a violence. It's 2d6 plus muscle. What is your muscle? 2? Oh, your muscle is 3, and also you have a move. You have a crime doesn't pay.
Oh, shit.
Which is nobody does better than you when the heat is on from the scum of the city. When rolling in opposition to criminals of any sort, you add +1 to your roll. 2d6 plus 4.
Oh, actually, no, it's +3, because I have that -1.
Oh, you do have that -1. Oh, yeah. So, there you go.
Still
not bad.
8 somehow with a +3. All right. So which of the negatives for violence are you gonna take?
I'm gonna inflict harm, but take some too.
All right. So what I think he has to do that harm first for this to make any sense.
Sure.
So I think he goes like Phoenix Jim, huh? I'm White Tiger, and then like how does he hit you before you get this suplex in?
I think what happens is that, like, she goes to like wrap him up in like a belly to belly, and he like headbutts her
like backwards.
Yeah.
In fact,
no, I think she like just goes straight up to him and is facing him in the belly to belly. Yeah.
All right.
And he like just headbutts her in the face, and she just like laughs at him and just like chucks him through this poker table.
Let's give it a little momentum here, because there is like, based on the map I've drawn, that's bullshit, but it's still interesting. There's some distance between you and any of the tables, right? There's like slot machines all around you, but the tables are like way to the north or way to the south. But I like the notion of you've wrapped him, and then you're like, I got you, and then he headbutts you, and you don't let go, and then he headbutts you again, you don't let go, and this happens over and over. But he's backing you up, and he thinks he has you right where he wants you, but in fact it is the opposite. And then comes the belly to belly, and you just drop him through this table to the north, and just like chips go everywhere. People are now screaming, and he is knocked the fuck out. You've knocked him out completely. He's, at the very least out of this scene, probably out of this movie. Do you say anything when you stand up over him?
Oh God, no, because I'm sick of rolling bad one-liner rolls.
Fair.
But I do get to roll my other move.
What's your other move?
A machine made of meat. Getting hit only makes you angry.
Ooh.
When you are hit in ranged or close combat, whether harm is inflicted or not, I get to roll plus muscles.
Ooh, okay.
And then I get some stuff. How much harm do I take, by the way?
Just one. Andy says she had a one-liner in the script, but they edited it out of the final movie. One of my favorite rules in this game is that you can fail on a roll, and the rule can be like, oh, it's a success in the movie, but not for the audience at home. So maybe this was a situation where you had another really shitty one-liner, but like, and everyone in the movie is like, oh shit, she just said this thing, but no one at home buys it.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, did you just mark that one harm, Austin?
Yeah, I got you. You had one already before. Oh,
no, that was
already...
one I just put in.
Got you. All right, yeah, you're good then. Go ahead and mark the one that's there.
Sure.
I'll let you do it. You got an 11.
Right. Yep. So on a 10 plus,
damn.
I get to hold 2 of these, immediately inflict 1 harm as a counterattack, which I guess I don't need to do.
But you have the hold, right? Or do you spend it? You get hold.
Yeah, and then I can just spend these as I go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are they? They're immediately inflict 1 harm as a counterattack.
Take an extra inflict an extra 1 harm on my next attack. Close the gap between myself and my enemy. Perform a feat testing the limits of human strength, or gain +1 muscles for the rest of the scene.
Jesus, and you have 3 of these holds. You have 2 of these holds to do for the rest of the scene. All right. Inside of this tusk, you hear like a latch unlocking, Sebastian. And the door swings open, and you can see the scene that we've described before, of this kind of drug den where people are cutting up these elephant tusks, all this ivory, and you see 2 cops from the card table, just like looking at you, and one of them has a shotgun pointed at you, and they say like, "What are you? You're a detective, right?" Mm-hmm. Detective Young, didn't expect you to be assigned to this duty. Come on in. What do you do?
I come on in.
And they like walk you over to the card table. Thought you were one of the clean boys.
Well, everyone's got a sick family member somewhere.
Tell me about it. My Aunt Betsy. Whew. Anyway, you want to get dealt in?
Sure.
You see one of the guards on the stairwell like reaches to his earpiece and says like, I'm talking, and then just like nods to the other guard, and the other guard nods, and then at the table they deal you in. You've been with the force what, 2 years now?
I guess so.
I forget. Are you from Bluff City or are you from out of town?
You know, a little bit out of town. We'd come to Bluff City on, summer weekends and...
Oh, goddamn shooby. Haha. That means tourist. You play like a quick hand, and you're starting to win. I'm guessing you're just good at cards. I feel like that's a thing that's true about Sebastian Young.
I imagine he's the kind of person who, like, counts cards without meaning to.
Yes, totally, 100%. So what do you want to be on? You want to be on the tusk table, or the baggin'?
No one really ever explained the difference to me.
At the tusk table, you cut up tusks. At the bag table, you put them into bags. It's not rocket science. I thought you were some kind of genius, kid.
Well, it's like book genius, you know.
Oh, he don't got the street smarts. And then the next one, no street smarts.
That's why it took me a couple years to get here, It's...
I get you. Well, let's do this. Let's put you on the tusk table. We got a new tusk coming in soon. And you just get to work. It doesn't even matter if it looks good. Just look at the guy next to you and see what he's doing and do your best.
It got me through school.
Oh, he's a big cheater now. And they like guide you over and sit you down at the table. And yeah, there are people just cutting up ivory here. It's weird and gross.
It probably stinks.
It probably stinks. And there's lots of just dust everywhere. And they don't have the right tools for this at all. And there's just lots of waste also. Like, not that ivory is good in any case, but like it's especially shitty because there's like just chips of it everywhere. And like, it's not even if this was like well gotten, even if this was like ivory recovered from a corpse or something, from a corpse that they had nothing to do with, this is bad. This is not good use of that ivory. Mm-hmm. And then we just get a shot of you looking at it all, and then we cut back to Max running through everything, through all the tables and the slot machines. How's that chase going?
I'm a little sore. Actually, I should remember to mark off some harm on my sheet.
I think
yes,
Dre
you
needs
should
to take a
mark harm.
star power too, right?
Oh, did you get over 10? Yes. He got over 10.
yeah.
So yeah, mark that star power. Take that 3.
So I'm trying to think of what to do next. I'm thinking, this isn't there's a floor above this, right?
There's like a ton of space. Yeah, it's a big casino, right? So there's like 3 floors of casino and then 30 floors of hotel.
So I have an idea on how to lose this guy.
Yeah.
It involves, possibly some liberties with what's, in the casino, but I'm into it.
Yeah, sure.
I was thinking that I could do some real, what's it called?
Parkour.
No, the Police Story with Jackie Chan, how he does a lot of, wild shit just to get around in that movie.
Yeah.
I was thinking of doing something along those lines, which would be parkour. You are correct.
I know.
Where it's jumping from a table to a slot machine to an overhang or something to get up onto the next floor.
Right. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think the thing that we maybe even come between get shots of this chase scene throughout the other previous sequences, and we get you doing that sort of stuff throughout. And now there is a you're running towards the staircase that you can lose him at, but the staircase is closed off. And there's repair work. It's not just closed off. It's fucked up. There's someone is rebuilding the staircase or refinishing it or something. So it's not safe to run up. But then when you do this jump from poker table to slot machine, I want your foot to push down the handle of a slot machine and for it to win. All the alarms start going off, Mr. Jackpot style, and now you jump up to
So good.
yes, and then you jump up to a chandelier and give me a stunt.
Oh man,
Is the chandelier made of tusks?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, okay,
That's a 10. Nice work. On a 10, you do the cool stunt you were attempting and feel like a total badass doing it. Take +1 forward. You may pass this +1 forward to one of the other player characters instead if you can work them into the stunt. Unfortunately, I think you're kind of far away, right?
Yeah. I think I know how I want the scene to end after I get on the chandelier.
Yes.
Is I do a big swing from the chandelier onto a balcony or something and look really stunned when I do it and then take a bow.
People clap.
There are people who politely applaud.
Yeah, live show. What a good casino. All right, let's jump back to also yes, take a star power.
All right. Oh my
Good catch. Janice. You've suplexed this dude, you've belly to bellied. Now what?
I think. So did I see Sebastian go into the thing?
Yeah. Totally.
Okay. I think I'm gonna use one of my hold to perform a feat testing the limits of human strength. And I think I want the scene to be just right as Sebastian is about to walk over to that tusk table.
Yeah.
A fucking slot machine just goes hurling through the air and smashes through the table and takes out a couple of the dudes that were standing at it.
Were you already holding it? Did you come through a door or did you throw it through a wall? Or through the fake tusks?
I like throwing it through the fake tusk. Yep.
All right,
that's
good. So it just skids across. Does it go on the table or does it hit somebody? What's it hit?
I think it probably hits somebody and then just crashes through the table.
Okay, good. And there's just ivory dust in the air everywhere, and it's smoky. It's it's the same effect that happens in action movies when Coke goes everywhere. When cocaine goes everywhere, it's just
it smells
dust everywhere.
dry turkey meat or something.
Yeah, exactly. It smells gross. It's bad, and everyone starts coughing, and immediately you hear the shotgun going, and then there are shots, but no one can see anything, and so everyone is screaming now, and now the entire casino is everyone is yelling and screaming. You have to say something after you throw that fucking thing. What do you say? You're an action star. Believe in yourself.
Thanks, Austin. Looks like it's time for you boys to cash out.
Give me a roll. 2d6 plus 1.
That one deserves to succeed, and it's the only one that has.
It does.
Wow, first of all, rude. Janine.
There's a success. There's a success. 9. There you go. That's a 9. So what is your negative? So it works, which means you can either take +1 forward to your next roll, or +1 camaraderie, which would lift you up to a 3 camaraderie if you do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the camaraderie.
All right. So then, what's the negative? Someone is arranged and immediately attacks you. Someone you care about is hurt, or the comment slows down an action scene and not in a good way.
I think someone is enraged and attacks me.
All right, yeah. So I think that you get the shot, just like the people are shooting in this all of the dust and smoke, and we just get like, this is, the director gets real artsy here in a way that's like, come on, don't you know what this is? We just get like slow motion, like. And then like the dust like billows out in interesting shapes. It's all vaguely sexual in a way that's really not cool or good. It's like a James Bond intro. Do you know what I mean? And then like, but through all of that, we get you like walking through the fucking smoke. And then we get one guy go like, rah! And then just like very close to you pulls the trigger with a shotgun and shoots you. So that is what's happening. What do you do as this guy pulls the trigger and shoots you?
So I haven't been hit yet?
No, but someone is attacking you. It doesn't say someone does harm to you.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Right? Like, it does say someone attacks you, so you still can do something cool here to prevent that from happening or whatever, but...
Gosh, I think I just, like, here's what I want to do. I want to, like, just put my hand on his shotgun and, like, twist it up. So he just, like, shoots it straight up into the ceiling. Okay, good. That sounds like a muscle stunt to me. Okay. I think? Yeah. So 2d6 plus muscles. Does this count as a crime doesn't pay? Yeah, uh-huh. All right. 2d6 plus 4. That's 10. A 10. All right. On a 10, you do the cool stunt you were attempting. I feel like a total badass. Take +1 forward. You may pass this +1 forward to another PC if you can work them into the stunt. But it sounds like this is just for you. Right? I mean, unless, like, does Sebastian do anything, like, as, like, things go to shit?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I was thinking about... I think the thing he would want to do is to get a weapon. And there are weapons in here, I think. That's been made fairly clear. It just becomes a question of, like, how I want to go about doing that. Because I think a camaraderie move this is a good time for that. Yeah, totally. Do we have to spend the camaraderie points, or do they just, like, count as, like, a stat, or what? You spend it when you roll it, I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Do you have to? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Because it almost feels like using that too soon. We're getting there, frankly. That's true.
We also have 3 of them.
Yeah. So camaraderie goes down whenever any hero dies, any hero attempts a camaraderie move. Success or failure is irrelevant, just attempting it lowers it by 1. And the penalty is applied after the roll is made, or anytime a PC double crosses another one. So.
Okay. I know what this could look like then. If that's what we want to do. Yeah. I think Sebastian is by the tusk cutting table. And there are a few people there who are just kind of like, shit, what do we do, right? Like, because there's a bunch of people in that room. Like, I don't know that they're all acting yet, especially since we defined the people at the center table as, like, the heavies, the real... Yeah. I think there was lots of yelling and screaming, but not, like, fighting yet. You know what I mean? Then I think the thing that Sebastian does is just, like, uses that moment of chaos that has been created by Janice to grab one of the guns that's against the wall. Like a shotgun or something, or is it just a pistol? Like, because you have a pistol with you, right? Yes. One of the things for camaraderie move, depending on success, is an awesome new weapon. Yeah. So it could be whatever you want. That's true. Yes, before we figure that out. But let's talk about what this looks like in terms of it being camaraderie. What is the thing that, like, I guess maybe roll first, because maybe is it like you sliding back into frame, like
back to back, basically. You know what I mean? Like, it should be one of those scenes where you're like, oh shit, they're buddies. You know what I mean?
I think I have an idea for that.
I think that also depends on the role, though, because, like,
yeah,
I
if
wouldn't
it succeeds or fails.
Yeah, like, I think the thing at the moment is just that, like, Janet's busted in here to save his ass again. And, like, he wants to pull his own weight, you know? He wants to, like, you know, he is part of this. He is part of this, like, this...
Right. Well, then what we get is, because, again, it's an action movie, is we get slow motion flashbacks to Janice saving you previously, right? And Max saving you previously, and you trying to fight for yourself, and, like, here it is. This is my moment. Give me a camaraderie roll. Okay. 2d6 plus 3. Are you getting the +1 also? Yeah, and the +1. So from the forward from the stunt. So that's a 2d6 plus 4.
All right. I almost did 2d6 plus 3 plus 1, which is probably would work.
Still true. But... Yeah. That's an 11. There you go. Pick 2. Heal 1 level of harm. Find an awesome new weapon for the duration of the movie. Do an extra level of harm to the film's villain, which isn't happening yet, unfortunately. Get inspired by your friend. Hold 1 to make a future roll. An automatic 10 plus. The characters gain great insight into their friendship and themselves. Give all the PCs 1 XP and lower camaraderie to -3.
I want the awesome new weapon, and I want to hold a thing to make a 10 plus, because that's fucking
Sounds
great.
Good. It's very good. It's very good. All right, so what's the awesome new weapon?
The awesome new weapon is what are awesome weapons?
Machine guns, grenade launchers, silenced shotguns, what else? Any sort of rifle or like submachine gun, but those aren't awesome, right?
Yeah, that's the thing is I technically have an assault rifle. It's just not here right now. So having that for the duration of the thing seems kind of meh.
Yeah.
I mean, something
you could have an
that.
assault rifle with a grenade launcher on it and like a scope.
Yeah. You could have like a really cool pistol. I feel like very cool shotgun is the way to go because shotguns are cool. How about this Benjamin Bulldog? What the fuck is this?
What?
I don't know that this is like.
Are you gonna link this?
Yeah, I'm trying to find a better picture. 1 second.
I thought Benjamin Bulldog was that kid who aged backwards.
Yes. Yes, thank you.
This gun is something.
This is a Destiny gun right here.
Yeah.
It's like this is like a rifle, but like something that looks like this as a shotgun or as like a nearly a sci-fi weapon would be pretty cool.
So there's two things that have me very obsessed with this page right now. One is that this looks like it would come out of Adam Jensen's body.
100%.
And two, I can just order this online.
It sucks. We live in a terrible world.
Fucking terrible.
It's so scary, and I'm so mad.
Oh, it's an airsoft.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Okay.
Whew. All right.
mean, it's also an $850 airsoft gun.
I mean, it's a hunting airsoft gun, I think, specifically. So
wait,
what the fuck does that mean?
What?
The realm of predator hunting and wild hogs. I love a great movie. Whitetail wall hangers and African plains game. I got a dumb.
There is literally nothing
sometime.
soft about that. If you can kill
a boar
or
to
some
be fair,
kind
it's
of
air
ibex
gun,
or whatever
not
the
air.
fuck.
God.
They just call it an air gun. They don't call it an airsoft gun. I imagine an air hard gun didn't work great.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
That's
it's a hunting
though.
rifle. This is the worst. We live in a bad world.
I'm going to get off this website before I feel like cursed.
Yeah.
Fair. Yep.
This is a terrifying question on their fucking FAQ or different sites. I live in Long Beach, California. I had no idea air rifles made such a tech advance. I have a couple of CO2 air pistols. I want this. All my buddies bought AR-15s a couple of years ago. I'm jealous now. I would be very happy with a few or more of these PCP air rifles. I've seen what they can do on YouTube. Can you ship them to California? Answer: yes, can ship them to California without a problem. Fuck, man.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Cool.
It's terrifying. Anyway, what is your quote-unquote awesome weapon as we continue down this path?
I want to say this is... Okay, what it is probably like some kind of not necessarily like a high-tech prototype in the like scope of like actual military fucking whatever high-tech prototypes, but as far as like police departments go, this is probably like the shiny new toy that someone has been tasked with, like, you know, quote unquote checking out, and they have it like leaned against a wall in here while they do their dirty shit. It probably has like a cool scope, and like I don't know that it's a shotgun. I don't love shotguns as much as you. I'm sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. It's just close ranges. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
like,
true. So maybe
that's also why I was like, cool pistol is also an option always. Like I don't know if that fits.
I want it to be a gun that to the casual person looks fake. Like maybe it has like a weird yellow stripe down the top or something, and people are just like, that's some sort of weird toy. I don't know, but it's not. Right.
Cool action movie guns.
It has to. You know what? Maybe it's like a shotgun, but it's got some sort of weird like bullshit with. A shotgun doesn't really need a sight, I guess.
I mean, it could.
But I'm thinking of like some sort of sight that has like person tracking or something on it.
Sorry, I'm here at 25, businessinsider.com/25 of the most famous guns in cinema. And I like that the first one listed here is the boomstick from Army of Darkness, which, like, all right, fine. The second one is Batman, and it just says Batman, and then there was a period. And that's really funny. But that's a cool looking thing. I think it's the grappling hook from Batman, right? That has to be what that is.
Yeah.
That looks like it's for launching Beyblades.
All right, I have an idea, Janine. You find the coolest Beyblade launcher I've ever seen.
You could just get, like, a super dope, like, revolver thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, fucking the guns Nicolas Cage had in Face Off with the, like, inset gun grips and everything. So it doesn't actually make it better, but in action movies it does because it looks flashier.
Right. Yeah.
You could get like a submachine gun, like an Uzi or like an MP5 or something. I don't know.
I want something that can change. What I really want is something that could theoretically change the space that isn't just +1 damage. Because damage...
Flamethrower?
Damage... Right. Like, yeah, maybe. A flamethrower could be cool.
What if it's just a fucking flamethrower?
They got the Elon Musk Connect, apparently. We're all about the
they
news
renamed
here
those
this
to
week.
not a flamethrower. It's very funny and clever.
I forgot.
You see?
Yeah, great. God.
We gotta get off of less depressing topics.
Yeah.
We can't make flamethrowers shitty. I love flamethrowers.
I got bad news. Flamethrowers were always shitty.
Yeah,
That's
true.
What if it's... Alright, well, what if we're close. What if it's like something that shoots dragon's breath?
I don't know what that means.
Dragons...
Like
they're
flame bullets?
flame bullets. It's like magnesium bullets that shoots fire out of like a gun.
Fucking sure. Yeah.
I want something you're excited about, but is also...
I'm not going to get excited about any gun, is the thing.
Fair.
They're not my thing, unless it's like a game and I can like snipe a dude, but this isn't like a snipey situation exactly.
No. What if it's not a gun? What's the thing that Sebastian would get stoked about? Because it just says weapon. It doesn't say gun.
That's true.
Like, it could be a weird whip. It could be like a sword. It could be like
He doesn't know how to use a whip. I guess it's a movie.
That's not what AO3 says.
Jesus. You just willed that into existence. Good job.
Yeah.
What if it's like a bandolier of like flashbangs or something?
Yeah.
What if it's an electric whip?
It's possible.
It's like a taser, but it's a whip.
That's a thing.
Maybe it's that. Is it that?
It's up to you. You find an awesome weapon.
I think it's that because I want to tase the dude who's going after Janice with a whip.
All right. Well, there it is. Electric whip. It's a charged whip. You know what it probably is? Is like, it's probably from their shitty collection of elephant taming shit.
Yes. Oh,
and you're
my
like,
God,
you know what?
totally.
Fuck y'all. I'm taking this whip. Stop hurting
It could
animals.
just be an electric prod, but a whip is more fun.
Oh, whip is way more fun. Whip this shitty asshole.
Electric.
Thank you, Dre. Dre says the return of jazz lady weapons. Good. Yeah.
It's a deep cut.
Uh-huh.
Am I rolling something? What am I?
Oh, right. You have it now.
Yes.
Right. Sorry.
Yes.
I forgot that you already did the roll. So, yes, you pick that up, and then you pull this guy away. And that's when Janice grabs the gun and just like it shoots off into the air basically, and this guy gets like whipped backwards into the smoke, and then you walk forward through all of the dust and join up in the middle.
And there's like
That is
ambient crackling from the whip.
Yes, exactly. Perfect. Good. And you know what? I feel like Max, you should also probably get here around now too.
Okay.
So we get all three of you in the fucking dust. What do you look like as you come in to frame? Are your guns out? Are you ready to go?
Yeah, I think I've got, like, my gun and the gun I stole now out.
Yeah, okay, cool. And Janice, do you keep the shotgun? Do you drop it? Do you break it over your knee? What do you do?
I think I'd break it over my knee.
Good, great.
I don't care about guns. I just
cool.
punch things.
Cool. All right, so there are at this point there are 5 people in this room. Like the dust starts to settle a little bit, and we get just like it's so quiet. And then we're just going to explode into action because bullets are going to, or gunfire is going to start going off. There are 3 more of like the card table mooks, and then there are the 2 guys with rifles or shotguns on the stairs. Those are there are 5 people left. As far as you know, that's the 5 people between you and the bad guy. Who moves first?
I will.
Okay.
I'm going to use my last hold to close the gap between myself and the dudes on the stairs.
Okay, cool. I'm going to just mark where they are on the stairs with little circles. So there's one there, and there's one here. And they're like posted up on the corners of the stairs, like behind like banisters, basically. And then there are the 3 remaining card table guys. And they are on the other end of the room, kind of blocking the exit back into the casino floor. So you punch forward using your hold to get into melee range with them. What do you do once you're there?
I'm going to clothesline this dude over the railing.
Okay, the north one or the south one?
Let's say the north one.
All right, sounds good. Give me a violence. That's a 13. God damn. All right, on a 10 plus, inflict terrible harm. The target drops something. The target is knocked down. You make a messy. Something explodes loud, or you hit a whole bunch of people. Area, or you can escape or close in. You choose 3 of these. You choose 3 of these.
If I choose hit a whole bunch of people, can I clothesline this dude so hard that he flies over the railing and hits the other dude?
I mean, I think you can probably just hit them both with your long extended arm. You just double clothesline them. You know what I mean?
Okay. It's a close set of stairs together.
I think that they probably like close in on you a little bit. You know what I mean? Like you're charging and they like come around the corner so that you're a little bit closer, and then your like arms just fucking pop out and you just catch them both. So that's one is area. What's the next one?
I'll inflict terrible harm.
All right. And what's the third one?
I guess I'll choose the target is knocked down.
All right, you've dealt with them. They've been dealt with.
They made something explode.
You can still make something explode. I just don't know what.
No. I don't know
you hit them so hard that they drop grenades and those bounce through the room. Like, no, you knock them down and they're out. They're out cold from these heavy hits. Max. Also, yeah, star power.
Sorry,
3
am I
left.
going to do something?
Yeah. 3 guys blocking the exit, and that is it.
Okay, well, I do have a way I could handle this, but is the way that I should handle this is the question.
Uh-huh.
I'm not entirely sure. I could try and threaten them, maybe.
Are these the mooks or are these not mooks?
These are mooks. You know what? I think we probably actually see one more person finally makes it onto screen, which is Jakowski finally walks in through the big hole and is also here now too. And he's like a little bit more of a heavy than these guys, but is still not like villain class. So there are 4 left on this other side, and that's it.
I don't have to kill these guys with my gun, right? I can just like incapacitate them.
Probably.
Okay, I think I'm gonna try and gun ballet the 3 mooks here.
All right, what is that? Tell me how that works.
So gun ballet, as a refresher, is that basically it's just a thing that adds on to any like attacks I make with a gun. It adds the area special ability to them.
Cool. What's that look like?
I think it's a very classic, like, because I've got the 2 pistols now, it's the very classic, like, swinging, like, the gun's akimbo, that's the word I'm looking for. Sort of like, both arms come up, you know?
Both arms come up, gotcha.
It's been a day.
I got you, give me a roll.
Yeah. And I'm aiming for, like, legs agility. Or, like, hands holding their weapons and shit.
Yeah.
Because these guys are, like, both, like, culpable and could theoretically be witnesses, I don't want to kill them.
Yes, sounds good.
So plus agility is +2. That's an 11?
That's an 11. So it's already area. What are your other 3 things?
The other 3 things, I 2 harm, close, and loud for my 9mm, right. Which I'm assuming both of them are the same type of gun.
Yes, totally. Now.
Yeah. So I think what it kind of looks like is, I kind of like the idea of using, like, something off the card table to distract them. I'm very into the whole, like, casino aesthetic, so maybe I throw, like, poker chips at them and then, like, shoot through one of them to hit the 100%. Guy in the hand.
Yep.
And then it's just, like, simultaneous shots to the other guy's legs.
Yeah. I love it. Well, then, so they're all out. They're all done. They all fall to their legs. The one guy's like holding his hand and is like whimpering and is like trying to like back out through the door. And then Jakowski like walks past them all and is like shaking his head. He's the only one who isn't covered in this fucking dust. And he's like, I knew you guys were up to no good. It's been a long day. And why can't you just play ball? This town's not going to get any better. Make your scratch, cash your check, and just join up. The city needs more company men, not renegades like you. This is to all of you, obviously. Look, just come upstairs. We'll sit down with the boss. He already has a place for you, young. And Stone, Max, you two, you've shown initiative. I'm sure he'll make a place for you. It ain't too late.
I can't decide if the thing I want to do is, I think it might be soliloquy time, actually. It doesn't seem like the right time for one-liner. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like movie pacing-wise?
Yes, yeah. This is definitely soliloquy, I think. I think you're right there.
So I think Sebastian, like, sort of takes a half step forward just as like listen to me kind of body language thing. I think he says, like, you know, joining up isn't going to do anything. If we join up, it's not going to make the city better. It's not going to make any of this better. You're all playing this game, and you say that we can win or we can get part of it if we just sit down at the table. But, you know, the thing they always say about Bluff City is the only way to win is never to play.
Give me a roll. 2d6 plus drama. Can
I use my thing?
I think you have to say that ahead of time.
I didn't know I had to say it ahead of time. I thought it was a save.
It's a +1 forward. It says, I'm going to just double check from how I'm reading it.
It's a hold for a 10+.
To make a future roll an automatic 10+. That to me sounds like you're cashing it in ahead of time.
That's a silly rule.
Because automatic, it doesn't say retroactive. It doesn't say, I think he like shakes his head and he says, you don't get it, kid. It's Bluff City. Everybody plays. And then shoots you in the chest.
Shit.
Take 2 harm. Just like gun, trigger, boom. Also take -1 forward.
Do I take 2 harm even though we've established that I'm wearing a shitty vest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is like he's a bad guy with a big. He has pulls out this big heavy revolver.
And
you know,
the other thing was a -1.
-1 forward. On a miss, your ramblings are the product of self-delusion about your abilities or prowess of insight. Take -1 forward, and the director can make a move against you. What do the rest of you do?
Am I still up here on the top of these stairs?
Yeah, you're at the landing of the stairs.
I don't know. I think I might want to let Max act first to avenge his partner. Yeah,
begrudging mentor, right?
Yeah, I was actually gonna run over and try and check on him. So, but if you want to let me take this guy out, I'll do it.
I think that seems like action movie-y.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I think it's can I roll to attack this guy before I describe it? Because I'm trying to
sure
think how specifically how this plays out.
But are you gunning, not
yeah,
muscling?
I'm shooting this guy.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got one thing in my bag of tricks, but I'm very good at it.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see it. Violence.
So I got a 7.
Oof.
So actually, I think I know what to do for this.
Okay.
Is I'm gonna get hurt again.
Mark it.
Yeah, I think so. I think what happens is that Max basically is seeing red, so he just starts emptying at this guy, and in the crossfire gets
pegged,
his aim's off, and his head's not in it, so he gets shot in the shoulder.
Yep.
And I don't know if 2 harm's enough to take him out or not.
2 harm is enough to take him out, but you're going to take 3 from this.
Okay, perfect.
Because you don't have on that vest, right?
Yeah.
Or actually, you would take 4 from this.
Wait.
But remember, you're a buddy movie, right?
Yeah.
So we have to talk about what happens when you would have died.
Okay.
So you just get caught twice in the chest as you fire back at him, I guess, or maybe it catches you in the shoulders.
I think one in the chest, one on the shoulder would probably work best.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, player characters and villains have 5 harm levels. When someone gets injured, they take off the appropriate amount. PCs and the villain tend to be able to carry their harm with a lot fewer complications, obviously. They're not necessarily dead. Nameless horde of generic bad guys, they drop out when they've taken 2 harm. They're not necessarily dead, but they're definitely disabled and at least thoroughly beaten up. Leads don't die, as stated, but instead they look really badass. Once the lead hits 5 harm, take that bit about harm representing how injured you appear, not how injured you are, and turn it up to ludicrous levels. So earlier they say hey, at level 1 harm you've minor cuts and scrapes. At level 2 it's minor bleeding. At 3 you're limping, you're sore, there's a good wound or 2. At 4 it's serious damage, broken bones, which mysteriously don't matter most of the time. You probably have at least 1 item of clothing shredded to bits. And at 5 you're near death if you want to be, otherwise it's very similar to 4 harm. And so what happens to the lead when they hit 5 harm? Remember, the lead cannot die. Instead, when the lead receives their 5th level of harm, they wipe all of their star power ticks. For now, it's enough to know that star power is basically XP. Or it's a chance at more XP, basically. At this point, when this happens, the lead stays at 4 harm. If for any reason the lead should take another point of harm, they lose all ticks again. This represents the desire to see the lead vulnerable, but not too vulnerable. We want Schwarzenegger and Van Damme to overcome odds and to get beaten up in the course of their adventures. The second they go overboard or look less than badass, it breaks the flow of whatever the viewer expects. That has a knock-on effect for an actor's career. They find it harder to pull bigger action movie roles, their paychecks are smaller, and they're tagged for lower profile movies. Star power and ticks represent that ineffable something which makes the best better than the rest. The wiping of ticks off of a lead's moment of vulnerability represents an actor spinning their professional wheels in a movie. So this is that moment of you still had to be fucking shot, and you still had to look shitty. The director still made you look like shit, even though you should have had this big breakout role. So tell me what it looks like on your side.
What condition I'm in?
Yeah, yeah. And what killing this guy looks like. I'm guessing you kill him.
Yeah, no, it's fucking
yeah.
It's he gets kind of torn up and not really in the graceful way that Max has been doing this before. Yeah. It's just center mass, completely unloading before Max collapses into this dust.
Yeah. Cool. Here's the thing I'll say. I think that y'all should take a camaraderie for this, because if you had not interceded, Sebastian gets killed here 100%. Right? So I'm going to pump y'all. You're back up to 3. You should have dropped to 2 earlier. You're back up to 3 now. All right. So this guy's dead. The blood begins to mix with the dust, obviously. I think maybe we see Oscar Season like walk up and like look down at the dead body from the other side of the tusk door, and is like breathing heavy because he's like run back over here, and he just like shakes his head, and he goes like, forget it, and just like closes the tusk door, and walks away. All right, up those stairs. What do the 3 of you do? What's your condition, Sebastian?
I think because this is like an action movie, there probably needs to be a moment of just like wrapping something around Sebastian's chest for appearance's sake, for to help people suspend their disbelief a little bit.
Yeah, like both Max and Sebastian are basically a step from death.
Yeah.
So is it both of you like bandaging each other up? What happens here? Janice, what is your role in all of this?
I mean, she probably, she runs down the stairs and is like, oh, fuck. And it's probably, like, the scene where, like, Max is, like, not moving until she gets there. Yeah. And then he, like, lifts his head and says something, like, real, like, snarky at her.
Uh-huh.
This is a very standard, like, what took you so long?
Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
And then, I would imagine, like, maybe, she takes off her... Oh, no, she has a leather jacket. She can't really take that off and, like, rip it up.
I bet the tusks come wrapped in, like, linen or some shit. So there's probably, there's probably, like, a crate. There's probably, like, prop crates full of, like, straw and like, a rough-looking material that could be, like torn up and used.
That southern wall with the table where their bags are, maybe it's not just backpacks, it's like canvas tote bags that all say like the name of they probably say the name of a different casino.
Team? Is it the
that's good. It's the cop baseball. It's the that might. What was it? Did we already establish that before?
I don't think.
No, we gave a name for the baseball team in Primetime Adventures. Might be what we mixed it up with.
Right. What was the weird bag that Jamie and Rain had in his closet? Remember, he had a weird, funny bag that he was selling.
Hippo masks.
Oh, he had hippo masks. That's what he had. These are not hippo masks. I actually think maybe there's a bit of framing going on, and I think there's a bunch of tote bags from from one of the other. I guess we already set up this is pre-Millennium Black, maybe. But I think it's another casino name on it. Or we fucking go all the way and it's what was the diving thing called? The diving store? Diving shop called?
Before or after the rename?
Before the rename.
I don't know that it had a name before. I think that was part of the bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. All right. Whatever. There's these canvas bags, and I'm tired, so we're not going to come up with a great thing here. My only thing with the cop baseball team is like they wouldn't be trying to frame people with their own that points back at the police. As ridiculous as this can get, that's probably just one over the line.
Maybe they're just fucking like. I was going to say hypercolor tote bags. I don't know that that's right. I'm thinking of like neon, sort of stereotypical neon-y sort of sunset art with like a palm tree or some shit. Like,
definitely. Love it. Because that means that y'all get bandages that are all
festive, not festive.
Festive and, bright colors.
Tropical.
And neon. Yes, tropical.
Parrot heady.
Bandages. Yes, exactly. The Parrot Heads love this movie. This is finally the representation. Is this a camaraderie scene? Is this y'all like finally prepping up for the final thing?
And like bandaging each other?
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fandom loves this scene, let me tell you.
It's a shirtless Mason Lowry scene. Of course they love it.
Yes, exactly. Give me who's actually doing this. You each get to do camaraderie once per game. So we've already seen the Sebastian one. Is this Max or is this Janice?
Who has more of a +1?
Well, we just
you're rolling camaraderie, right? So it's going to be 2d6
okay.
plus 3 no matter what.
So when it says heal 1 level of harm, I assume that's whoever does the roll?
No, I think it's for everybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm down to do it if you don't want to.
Yeah, no, go for it.
It's really just who's... Yeah, go for it. So 2d6 plus 3. That's an 11. There you go. So pick 2. Heal 1 level of harm, find an awesome new weapon, do an extra level of harm to the film's villain, get inspired by your friends, you get that automatic +10 in your back pocket, or XP.
Definitely heal 1 level of harm.
Okay, so both of y'all heal up 1.
Yeah.
Oh, does that include... Oh, that's all of us, right?
All of you,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I think I'll just take the get inspired one to hold.
It's really good.
It's really good.
I'll hold that.
Make sure you use it.
Yeah, just use it in advance. That's
Yeah.
2 of us having that going into the sort of conclusion is good though. So
yes, it's very good. All right. What was the? So that's it. Those are your 2. How does Max show this camaraderie? Like, what is the camera doing with Max to, or what does Max say? Like, how does this feel like camaraderie?
I think the main thing is that instead of like making it like instead of paying any attention to his own injury first, he goes over and is like checking on Sebastian because he's the rookie.
Right. Just like blood pouring out of your shoulder, like out of gunshots, basically.
Yeah, like my dope 80s windbreakers all fucking bloody now.
Yeah.
It's a real shame. Can't get these anymore.
the bandages match though, so good news.
Yeah. And it's more one of those things where it's like after Sebastian is as bandaged up as can be, then Max is like, okay, should probably take care of this. I am losing feeling in my arm.
So you all heal up, basically. You bandage everybody. Everybody's bandaged up, and check your ammo. You go up the stairs, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You're like very carefully like peeking your head around, and it leads to a long hallway with a long red carpet, and you walk down the red carpeted hallway, and on the walls there's paintings of past police chiefs, and there's a big giant door at the end. That's like a big wooden door, and at the door there is I don't think there's anybody at the door. I think it's just the door. What do you do?
I mean, I want to kick this thing down.
That is what comes to mind.
It is. You kick it down. And inside there's like a long, it's another long room with like potted plants around the edges, white marble floors and columns, and a huge desk at the end. And in the chair behind the desk is your love interest, whose name I've already, Evelyn Christo, and she's like, "Don't come any closer. This whole place is wired with explosives. You came for me." And she grins.
Well, you told me to follow the desks.
Grimes is going upstairs. I think he's trying to get away. Be careful. Call in the bomb team or something if you think you can trust them.
Do we think we can trust them?
I don't know. I don't know if you can trust them.
They could all be dead downstairs for all we know.
Yeah, you pull out like a flip phone, you dial a number, and then in the like downstairs, do.
No, I know. Is this okay? I think I maybe know how this like goes down. What if Sebastian stays behind to try and defuse the bomb himself?
Oh,
and
there you
Janice
go.
and Max
Hell
go up after the asshole
Yeah,
guy.
I think that's good. Yeah. So there's like, so I think how do you say that? Do you say that in character?
I think Sebastian. I mean, Sebastian's fixed, but he's still probably in rough enough shape that it's credible that he'd be like, I'll just sew you down. Like, I can take care of this, and I can try to take care of this before, we don't know if we can trust the bomb squad. Like, this is their only shot. You gotta go.
Perfect. Good. All right. So, The rest of you, the other two of you, go like through the side hallway, basically.
I think before leaving, Janice puts her hand on Sebastian's shoulder and says, "Hey, rookie, from this day forward, you never let anybody call you rookie again."
Not even you?
Especially not even me.
I don't think this is one-liner. I think this might be a mote.
Yeah.
A mote is pick an emotion to convey via speech or physical movement. When you display that emotion in a melodramatic fashion, roll drama.
I've got 0 drama, so we'll see how this goes.
Uh-huh. 8.
That's an 8.
There you go. Choose a PC or NPC to witness your emotional display. They feel the same emotion as you. It's up to the director to decide how the witness reacts. If a PC acts on the emotion, they take +1 forward.
So I choose PC or NPC?
I think you choose a PC or an NPC. Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is pretty clear. But
I'll choose Sebastian.
Yeah. I think that's it for sure. Awesome. Cool. Take a +1 forward if you act on this like inspiration. Which I would assume you do.
+1 forward on not taking shit when someone calls me a rookie.
Yeah, I think it's broader than it's like confidence, right? So you see, I guess as the two of you, as Max and Janice head down this door, you see that there's a stairwell upwards. That is like it's basically an emergency exit stairwell, right? So it's like dingy and like flickering lights, and you can hear the sound of feet as the police chief Grimes is like pounding his feet up the staircase, and you actually like see him stop and like look down from like 12 feet or 12 floors above you or something, 10 floors above you, and he's like, "Never can trust folks like you." It's very clear that he means people of color because he's a racist police chief, and that is the movie this is. Meanwhile, Sebastian, you see that there are like as you like come around the desk, you see that there are like all sorts of wires like inside of the like behind the desk that then like dip out and like go are like on the floor to the walls and like behind all of the potted plants, and kind of like on the inside one of the desk drawers, and I think that Evelyn like nods to it very carefully, and she's not moving because there's probably a pressure plate situation here. Inside of one of the drawers is like a box, like a transistor box or something that is part of where all the wires are going. I'm gonna put a bomb clock on the screen.
That's good because I know exactly what I want to do.
Okay. So this bomb clock is you defusing it before, or it blowing up if you don't defuse it, basically. So right now there's no ticks on it, but it will start ticking up if you fail rolls, as time continues, etc. It's a 6-step clock. What do you want to do?
So is the diffusal process going to be multiple rolls?
Yes, I should actually put up a second one. It's a simple 4-step clock, but like, yes.
Okay. I think I'll think of my plan in terms of steps that I would need to execute it then.
Yep, totally.
So the first thing that I want to do is unscrew the top casing on that like box thing. Okay. So I can see the guts in there.
I think this is probably a stunt, but it's not a muscles or an agility stunt, right? Like this is like
this feels really drama to me. Like this is a lot of like close up on eyes and like sweat beading on the brow and
definitely. So let's do that.
I was gonna say, is that like emote then? Because it's like conveying tension more than like a stunt.
Yeah, I could see that.
Totally. But then the results don't really make sense.
I mean, it's fine. It totally works that's what I'm saying. It's stunt is basically like, or it's basically we're basically doing a custom move. Is actually what we're doing. Yeah. This is a custom move. It's 2d6 plus drama to defuse this bomb.
I also have a -1 and a +1.
So that just zeroes out. That's fine. Because you're not being a rookie here for sure.
No. That's a 13. That's what that is.
Nice work. Nice. That's 2 ticks. I'm going to do 7 to 9 is 1 tick, and 10 plus is 2 ticks. but everything that you do advances it by 1 because it's just time. So yeah, you unscrew it, and the thing is revealed. And we go back to the staircase, and you hear something from above. You hear the cocking of. You hear maybe you don't even hear. I think you just hear like tink 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 as a canister bounces past you and down below you further down the staircase, and then you hear as this grenade that he shot down there from a grenade launcher blows up below you. Everything shakes, and we probably get the close-up then of Sebastian Young's eyes as the whole building shakes from that too. I was like, oh shit. And then we come back to the staircase. Are y'all just trying to like sprint up there as quick as you can?
I mean, that's definitely Janice's MO is to just run through it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay. You should give me a stunt agility to try to like get up this thing as he continuously is like shooting grenade rounds down at you.
Oh boy. Is it so both of us are rolling?
Yeah, I don't think that there's a group action mechanic in this game.
Oh, wait. I have an idea. You know what? Maybe I should save that.
Should you?
Oh, I don't know. It might end things very abruptly.
I mean, it might.
I'm also
Can I use
the
that?
same, so.
Can I use that thing, the stored roll I have, to shoot a grenade right as he fires it?
I think that you can't, only because of the aiming is really hard.
Sure.
He's like 12 floors above you or whatever, and is like shooting down at angles, basically. But
I
that's the thing
totally
you should
misinterpreted.
definitely hold on to. He's like running. It's like have you ever been in like an emergency?
Yeah, I know what
like,
you mean.
Yeah. He's like banking them down and around and shit.
Okay.
Or like maybe there's like a big center thing that's like a gap that he can like look down and see you from, and he's like shooting them down there. But like it's not a very good angle. You should save that for when you're like face to face. But yes, keep that in your back pocket, please.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm also just picturing this one very specific stairwell at my school now, and it's very good.
Perfect. All right, so I think both of you can do stunts.
So...
Oh, that ain't good. That ain't good at all.
Boof, 9.
That's a 9. All right, so you take a +1 forward, Janice, but you fall, you lose something, you leave something behind, or you hurt yourself, or I make a move against you.
I'm gonna say I lose something.
All right, I think that your what do you have on you?
You know what? No, I'm not gonna do that because that's not
because you don't use your gun
dramatic.
or nightstick.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You know what? I'm gonna say the director makes a move against me.
Okay. Let's figure out what's. Maybe it'll be. Okay. I think this is. I think this is so. There's a police chief move here, which is like disappear in the nick of time. So I think it's like you're moving up at him, and the grenades are coming down at you over and over, and you get very close, and then like you get up to the top level, and he gets into a fucking elevator, and the elevator door closes, and so he's gonna skip up another like 20 floors to the roof. It's like direct access to the roof. Now the thing that happens that is not great is Max, one of the grenades just takes out the stairs between you, Janice, and Grimes, and so you have to you're like a step behind. You're not going to get up there at the same time that the other two do. And so the move I'm making against you is pretty light compared. I think take 1 harm also from a grenade. You probably get like knocked back and get dizzied, so you're back up to 4 or whatever. Or I guess you were at 4. Oh no, yeah, you're back up to 4.
No,
yes, because you healed. So now your jacket is ripped to shreds. You're singed also, and Janice has to if you're gonna catch up to this dude, you got to keep sprinting.
Instead of sprinting,
I
want to force the elevator doors
Hell
open.
Yeah.
And jump in and just grab onto this the elevator rope that's I guess going up. Is that how elevators work?
There's probably one that goes up and one that goes down, right? Yeah, that sounds like a muscle stunt to me. So yeah, give me a muscles. Which I think is just 3. I don't think this is against him in that way.
Right,
you know? So 2d6 + 3.
Ooh, God, a 6.
Ooh, that ain't good. I'm just. You don't have a +1 from anything else, do you? You don't have a. You rolled a 2 and a 1. God damn.
Yeah.
All right. So I think you. God. All right. So I think that you on a miss, you choose one. You fall. You lose something. You leave something behind. You hurt yourself, or I make a move against you. So up to you here.
Oh man, I think I fall.
Yeah, I think we see you fall for like 10 floors, and then you hit your back on another elevator coming up. Take 3 harm. So you're still going up, but like you're way behind him now, and also you are like your back is all fucked up. But you like get up on your feet basically, and you can hear there are people in the elevator below you also. And you can also probably hear the elevator say, like, in case of a fire, use stairs, not the elevator, as there's a fire all around you, below you now. All right, let's quickly jump back to Sebastian. Nat, what's your next step?
So, I think I might have only had 2 steps here.
Okay, you might only need 2.
Yeah, I think this might be... I want to propose how I think this resolves, because I have that guaranteed 10 plus, and also I have a scene that I feel is good. So I think he opens up that casing, and there's probably a bunch of shit inside, but he also notices, I think, like a slot. It's a disk drive.
Oh.
Specifically a jazz disk drive, which is weird because who even has those? And I think he notices there's a disk inside that is running some sort of program for the bomb. I don't know how bombs work, but this is how they work in movies, because movies don't know how bombs work either.
No, definitely.
So I think Sebastian pulls the jazz diskette from the fucking dude's house. Out of his like vest pocket. It is miraculously not shot through.
Of course.
And I think he like looks at it, and then I think he looks at Evelyn. I think he asks her to blow on the diskette for luck, because like casinos.
Yeah, perfect.
And then I think he swaps the disc in the drive with this disc that has unrelated garbage on it, banking on the idea of the bomb just being like, I don't know, bye. And that's my plan that I have a 10 for. So
you're gonna play. Oh, right, you don't have to roll anything. It just works.
Yep,
it just works.
It does.
All right, I need to find a thing. 1 second. So you put it in, and I think the rest of this whole sequence, so you put it in and it looks for something. It looks to run the same sequence, right? I'm gonna need a second to figure out something, but it's very good, I promise.
Okay, because it worries me when you do this normally.
No, this is really silly. I'm very excited.
Okay. All
right, so I'm very happy this worked out. You put it in, and we see there's like a pop-up screen, goes like brrr. That was not the right sound. Brrr. There we go. And there's like a text display, and it says like running bomb.exe or whatever, bomb dot, and it doesn't work. And it's like searching for bomb, and it's like located bomb, and it finds a file that starts. It finds like a zip file called like bomb_squad .zip. This is not going where anyone thinks it's going. And if I can't fucking find this file, I'm going to be so mad. The internet used to be better, is all I'm going to say. So what it opens up is a collection of MIDI files that are MIDI versions of songs produced by the Bomb Squad, which is a hip hop and R&B production team that was working in the 90s and the 80s and the 90s. And so it just starts to play one of their major hits, which was Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe, but in MIDI. And so that just starts playing in the background for the rest of this whole sequence.
Excellent.
So that works. I was like 90% sure that song was produced by a group called The Bomb something, and it was, and I'm very relieved. But I can't find a MIDI of fucking Belle DeVoe's Poison anywhere, and I feel like the internet has failed me.
I could find one that apparently wants €8 to buy it.
See, this is what I'm saying. I'm not spending any euros for Belle DeVoe's Poison on a MIDI. In any case,
maybe it's only MIDI for a second, and then it's like, I forget which one is the one people non-diegetic sound. It just switches to the song to play.
Yes. I found here. Do you want to know what's like?
You can just get that on Spotify.
The fucking times. You know what makes this the time it is now is I figured out how to find this, and the trick was type in chiptune.
Oh.
Fucking.
I hate the world. Anyway, this is playing, and not only is it playing in this room, it's playing throughout the entire casino, and like through all of the speakers. And, like, this is what's playing as the elevator goes up, and you wind up on the rooftop, Janice, and Max, I'm guessing you like are doing parkour to jump up the rest of these like the broken stairs and shit.
Listen, if there's one thing you need to know about me is that I love parkour.
Perfect.
And that I am doing it, yes.
Perfect. So Janice, you get up there, you're on the rooftop, and you hear the helicopter blades above as the police helicopter is like slowly kind of trying to make a landing approach. We get the wide shot that you get in movies like this. It's that of the entire casino, and you can see that there's fire coming out of some of the windows and smoke and stuff. And you know, the villain, who's barely been in the movie at all because presumably they only had him for like 3 scenes, is like waiting, is sitting with the grenade launcher across his lap on the stairs of the helicopter pad when you come up through the emergency entrance, Janice. And he goes like, he sees you coming across, and his tie is blowing in the wind. He's bald again. He's played by the actor in this world is Blake Blossom, but he's basically James Gandolfini, who's also the coach in Aliens in the Outfield. If you recall, he's really getting around. And he's like, he stands up and his tie is blown around. He has on like wireframe glasses. And he says, "You couldn't leave well enough alone, huh, Stone?"
Not when you kill one of my friends.
People get killed sometimes. There's bigger plays.
We're supposed to protect and serve, Chief.
You protect for tomorrow, I'm protecting for 10 years from now.
You're protecting your 10 years, not the city's.
My 10 years they mean a lot to me. And like, cocks the grenade launcher and stands up and like thunk, and out comes one of these grenades. What do?
I want to do something besides like just running and punching things. So I'm on like the bottom of these stairs.
You're like, I'm picturing, do I have some room down there for another little quick map? Yeah, I do. All right, so this is not to scale with the previous map in any way. Rooftop, right? Square I just drew on the eastern side of this map is like the emergency exit. Far other side is helipad, and then there's like a little tiny staircase, and that's where he is. He's on the little tiny staircase. Do you know what I mean? Okay. He's like here, and you are like here, and then, you know, there's like transformers and big like HVAC units and stuff all around the place. So because it's the top of a casino, and you know what? Maybe there's also like a big glass. Between you and him, there's like a big glass, like roof. What are those called? Skylights. There's 2 long skylights. The 2 things I just drew now. I'll mark them as skylights by making them have blue on the inside.
Oh, okay. Here's a ridiculous thing I can do. I want to use my nightstick like a baseball bat and just like hit that grenade up away into the air.
Hell yes. Give me a stunt. I think that's probably muscle. Silly, but yeah. That's 11. Hell yeah. So yeah, you do it, obviously. And it blows up like behind him, and it lights him, like it backlights him. You get like the silhouette of it. You take a +1 forward to this, obviously.
Yeah.
And he's like, the helicopter is actually like pulls back away from it a little bit. And he shouts out like, I got 3 shots left. You think you can last that long?
You got 3 shots? I think you've only got 2 seconds left of talking.
Give me a killer one-liner roll. Roll that swagger.
And then the +1. That's
+1.
10.
That's a 10. That's a 10. You did it. Take +1 forward to your next roll. Or
Finally.
Your buddies aren't here, so I don't think that you can take the camaraderie here, but so take a +1 to your next roll. And he's going to set that up. You said 2 seconds, right? He goes, 2 seconds is all I need to frame you. And kaka, thunk, and shoots a grenade at the skylight close to you. As if to like drop it through the skylight and into the casino floor. Like down through the hotel all the way down to the casino floor.
Oh, that's bad.
What do you do this time?
Oh, man. Shit. Max, you should have been here to shoot this thing.
I would.
God, she probably just like slow-mo dives forward.
Yeah.
And like skids across this skylight. And like goes to like just try and like basically like kick it away or something.
Okay. I think this might be an agility stunt.
Yep.
This is not you're not powering your way through this. Like that's
No.
the position he's putting you in.
Okay. Well, at least I have that +1.
Yeah, you
so
do.
Now I have a 0 in agility.
Oh, okay. 2d6.
Mhm. Would the opposition to criminals count for this?
Yeah. I'll give you that.
Okay.
Trying to help. That's a 9. That's a
okay.
9. Because that's with that +1, right? Yeah. All right. So you take +1 forward, so you manage to knock it away. But you've left yourself in a precarious position. Choose one of the ones from below. What happens here? Do you hurt yourself? Do you leave something behind? Do you lose something?
I think I hurt myself.
Yeah, I think it goes
it's like she kicks it away, but it like goes off closer than she would like.
Yeah, totally. I think it like flings you back to the stairwell. I think that's when Max comes in. Right, like Max opens the door and adds like seconds after you slam against the back of the kind of emergency exit up here, and this is like as the helicopter now is coming down, and he calls out to you, and he says like, couple of rookie cops, or not rookie, couple of renegade cops, dirty, corrupt, the worst this city's ever seen. And my boys are the one who are going to take him down and reveal the terrible string of corruption and murder that you did. How's it feel to be the bad guys?
Oh, I'm trying to think of a clever retort.
So
I'm not an actual action star.
The actual action stars also don't have clever retorts, I promise. They have writers.
I meant like,
I got you.
That's why I'm not doing stunts in real life, is what I'm saying.
Man, yeah, I'm running out of even bad one-liners.
Does he still have?
That's all I've got.
Does he still have grenades left to
He
fire?
still has 2 grenades left, yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure where we are on that one.
For your called shot.
Yep.
Oh, I have an idea.
So
remember I took that other gun?
Yes.
So technically I never need to reload my gun. I'm actually not even doing the proper move for this, I think.
Sure.
But I want to make it look like I'm about to shoot him with the other gun, but it's empty to make him like instinctively fire back.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're like taunting him basically.
Yeah. And then I've got like the other gun hidden.
Right. So maybe this is actually like about maybe there's even a cooler way to do this, which is like you see what's happening from inside the stairwell and you're about to burst through, but you like stop for a second and you're like, and you see Janice slam against the wall, and we see her look up through the crack in the door at you, and he yells that line, and then is when you're like, all right, we see you look at your 2 guns, we see you check how many rounds you have in each, and you only have 1 bullet in one of them. You know what I mean? Like it's, and so the key is getting him to shoot it, without with the one that you don't have, that doesn't have the bullet in it. So then you open the door. And you have to be compelling enough to make it look like you're going to shoot him without actually shooting him, right? Mm-hmm. This still might just be violence. Like, I don't need this to be two different... I think this is a stunt. I think this is the stunt, right?
Is this the called shot from earlier?
No, I think the called shot is shooting
one?
the thing, right? The thing that you're trying to do now is get him to shoot at you.
All right.
Oh, I think this might be manipulate.
Yeah,
actually. Right?
What is manipulating?
It's magnetism.
Fuck.
So you could also spend that +10 here, and then rely on your real skills to get the shot.
Fuck it, man. Let's play fast and loose. I'll do that.
All right. So you bust open the door and you pull up your gun. And do you say anything as you shoot, or is it just like
not really, but
eyes?
It's like a big, like, dramatic swing of the arm.
Yeah.
Thing.
You oversell the swing almost.
Yeah.
And he's like, God damn, the gunfighter. And like, dunk, and begins to shoot. And you pull the trigger and it goes click. I think the camera like goes from your dead, like you have like killer eyes on. You have the eyes of like when you shoot someone. It's like throughout the movie, we've always gotten this close up on your eyes whenever you shoot somebody. And we get it again, but then the camera pans down and you smirk because he fell for your shit. Give me the violence roll.
All right, let's hope this works.
2d6 plus. What's your agility?
2.
All right. Is there anything left? Is there any other way to give you a boost to this? Is there any other?
Can we use camaraderie points for that? I can't remember.
You can like not 1-to-1. Someone would have to do the camaraderie move, basically.
Okay.
Which maybe that's the look between you and Janice. Like Janice could be compelling you to do your thing.
Yeah.
We could get like the flashbacks of the two of you as rookies. Like practicing this move with lemons or something.
Oh my god. Janice is just like throwing like perfect spirals with lemons and I'm shooting them out of the air.
Yeah. And like at first they hit you. At first they're like slamming into you, but then eventually you're able to shoot them all out of the air. I like it. Do you want to do the camaraderie move, Janice?
Yeah.
All right, give me that 2d6 plus. Are we at 2 again, or are we at 3 again?
I think we're at
2. Yeah. All right, so 2d6 plus 2. All right, that's a 7. You pick heal 1 level of harm, do an extra level, blah blah blah. Get inspired by your friends, to hold 1 to make it a future roll an automatic +10. So maybe that's what you're doing. Maybe that is what gives you the +10 on this. Is actually what we could have just done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. So what's it look like? What happens here? You pull the trigger. Is it slow-mo? Follow the bullet.
Yeah, it has to be, right? It has to be some real like. No, I'm not gonna reference that. Yeah, just like a slow-mo like tracking shot of the bullet that starts like from behind it and then goes out to like the side. So it's like the you see the bullet go into the grenade.
Right,
and
right. Yeah. The whole thing explodes. The helicopter like gets torn to shreds. Grimes gets tossed back and is like hanging from the ledge. Like it looks like we've lost him, and the camera like pans back out and we see him like hanging on with his hands to the ledge of the casino. And the grenade launcher is like a few feet ahead of him, and the helicopter is in flames, and you see the pilot rolling around on the ground trying to put out the flames. The two of you get up. Do you go over, or do you let him hang? What do you do?
I know what I do. I go over and I pull him back up from the ledge.
Yeah.
And then I pull out like a couple of baggies that I took from downstairs of like the tusk things.
Yeah.
And I just throw them on his chest. And I go, you know what, Chief? An elephant never forgets. Neither will Bluff City.
Holy shit. Give me the killer one-liner roll. I'm so mad. I'm actually really happy.
Yeah, you're not mad. Shut up.
6 plus 1, Swagger. That's a 6.
Perfect. Couldn't end any other way.
Couldn't end any other way. The line falls flat. Take -1 forward. No, I think I'm going to invoke that other rule. I'm going to invoke the rule of it totally works, but people at home groan is really the thing. The move succeeds. You get it. You if there was going to be another roll, you would take a +1 to it. But in this case, people at home are like, oh, Jesus Christ. I can't believe it. And you know, the alarm sounds, and we get like the equivalent of the Ghostbusters theme. We get like the custom song that Belle Biv DeVoe or we get a Boys to Men track here for sure.
Hell yeah.
We get like the version of, so in the world of Bluff City, Boys to Men exists, but they're from Bluff City instead of Philly. And so instead of Motown Philly, we get Motown Bluffy, and it like comes up. It's like in the background as everything's on fire, and then we get Sebastian and Evelyn coming up through the emergency exit, and seeing everybody, and everyone's up on the roof as like the news choppers go overhead. Any final words from anybody? Or what's the you know, Evelyn has her arm around you, obviously, Sebastian.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all like limp over to the rest of the team.
I think it's like a silent thing of like Max like patting Sebastian on like the shoulder a little bit. Yeah. Like those two are finally acting like friends instead of like a teacher student relationship.
Right, sure. Sebastian, anything from you?
No, I think it feels like that was it. Like, it feels like the ending note of this is everyone coming back together and like exchanging looks and then like watching a fire or something, you know?
Yeah. Do we get a jump ahead? Do we get the like Detective Sebastian Young was awarded blah blah blah, and then the, you know, Janice Stone retired to blah blah blah, or do we just get the fade out?
Here's the important question. Is Janice Stone or Max Lamb the new chief of Bluff City Police?
Oh, good call.
Ooh.
I don't know. Who is it? I think it's Janice. And then Lamb and Sebastian. Like in the sequel to this movie, it's more focused on Lamb and Sebastian, and Janice is their boss, right? Because she's the sergeant, not the detective, you know? I'm guessing, unless you feel differently.
Also, like, Janice has, not seniority, but Janice has, like, a lot of experience on the force, and also, if I recall, her demotion was, like, really kind of a vindictive thing, so, like, if they're looking to replace a corrupt asshole, it seems like she might be the first place they'd start. Yeah,
totally. So, yeah, we get, like... Sergeant Janice Stone was elected to be police chief the next year. You know, Bluff City, she's cleaned up Bluff City and initiated new community policing, you know, policies. Everyone loves her. What do we get? What is the future of Max Lamb?
I think it's quiet. Like, I think he finally gets to chill out. Like, he doesn't have to do any more grunt work is the big thing.
Yeah.
So it's just like a shot of him with like, I think I described him as really liking candy in the first episode. He's like at his desk with his feet up, like he's got like a radio on where he's listening to like a baseball game or something. Yeah. And he's just like eating a big old bag of like those sour keys or something.
Yeah, and like we get like the sunset through the window or whatever. I have like a very Han looking out onto the sunset in like a Fast 5 or something. In the Fast and the Furious vibe. Also, I just realized Han is always eating candy also, so you have...
I don't know those movies.
Oh, buddy. You should watch those movies. You should really watch those movies.
You should at least watch Fast 5.
You should watch Fast 5. Okay. You really should. So, Sebastian, what about you? What's Detective Sebastian Young go on to do?
I can't decide how, like... It's tough, because we're making a buddy cop movie, so my instinct is to go super tropey, but that's also not really what Friends at the Table is.
Yeah.
So it's difficult for me to tamp down my instinct and try and find, like, what the more interesting outcome is.
Right.
Maybe the thing that we get from him is like he hasn't been around long enough to make any big moves or to reasonably have like his settle down moment. I think maybe the thing we get is that, like, he starts kind of taking on an active role with the new kids on the force kind of thing.
Right.
So what we get is maybe like the shot of him like eating lunch, like he takes them out to lunch or something. Like it's a shot of him taking a new recruit out to lunch to be kind of like to kind
like
of
mentor
give them
that...
to not like fully mentor them the way that Max did because he's not their partner or whatever, but to kind of give them the lesson of like, you know, you gotta hold on to your ethics and your beliefs. You have to hold that tighter than anything else, but also you have to understand that not everyone's going to be playing by your rules.
Totally. Awesome.
And maybe he has a baby photo in his pocket or something hokey.
Yeah, there you go. All right, I think that's going to do it for us. We can get into XP and stuff, but if we need to do that, we should just do it when I'm not so tired.
Word.
All right. Thank you so much for playing, and thank you for listening. As always, you can support us over at friendsofthetable.cash. This was really fun. This game is really good. I shout outs to Ian Williams. Again, disclosure that Ian has written for Waypoint and is a good friend of mine, at least. Ian also does a really good wrestling column at Vice Sports. You should go read that. It's really, really good. Speaking of wrestling, I think it's fair to announce that next month's game is going to be Action Movie World, or not Action Movie World. We're just going to stay on this. That's it. Action Movie World. Worldwide Wrestling RPG. I'm very excited for it. We haven't recorded it yet, obviously. It should be very fun. So look forward to that.